Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome to our viewers on onespotmedia.com.
Up first this evening, the attorney representing the Jamaican fishermen is blasting the Jamaican government for its handling and response to the case.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang stated this week that the U.S. Coast Guard acted appropriately.
But the American Civil Liberties Union ACLU attorney believes the government's position is outrageous.
After details of the Jamaican fishermen detained by U.S. Coast Guards in chains for a month were made public, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith told the Senate her ministry was only made aware of the matter the day before. She said no complaint was filed and so the government had no information about their plight. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has also announced that no law was breached as jurisdiction rights were waived under the Shipwrighter Agreement with the U.S. But speaking on TVJ's All Angles Wednesday evening, ACLU attorney Stephen Watt, who is representing the fishermen in a U.S. court, blasted the ministry's stance. For him, it's appalling that the government signed on to this agreement.
Clearly, the agreement is not protecting the rights of Jamaican nationals who the Coast Guard is interdicting on the high seas. So I think that agreement has to be firmed up to guarantee those rights, to ensure that Jamaican citizens are not being subjected to the slave-like treatment that our clients were subjected to.
The fishermen, who were accused of trafficking ganja, were chained to a part of the boat for over a month. They were not allowed to contact anyone, and so their relatives in Jamaica thought they were dead, which leads to another scathing criticism of the Jamaican government. Both ministries say they were aware of the men being detained, as the U.S. Coast Guards did make contact with the Jamaican government. Mr. Watt says the ministry knew of the men's detention because it authorized the Coast Guards to board the men's boat and to seize them. The ministry should have notified the men's family of their capture. The foreign ministry said no report was made to them or to the consulate in Miami, which hampered communication. But Mr. Watt said the family did everything in their power, including reporting the men as missing to police, local government, Coast Guards, and even posted messages on Facebook. He says for the ministry to put the onus on the family members to contact the ministry about a fact that the ministry knew is outrageous. Then there's the accusation that the men were held on suspicion of drug trafficking. Those charges were dropped and the men imprisoned on non-drug charges.
If the Coast Guard had any credible evidence supporting their baseless claim that our clients were trafficking drugs, they would have presented it during the criminal proceedings in 2017. And instead, the assistant U.S. attorney prosecuting their case, he acknowledged in the course of these criminal proceedings that it would in fact have taken a miracle to have proven to a jury that there were ever any drugs on the men's boat. And another point, Dion, it wouldn't matter if our clients were trafficking drugs, which the AUSA said they were not. The Coast Guard should not have treated them in the way it had done. El Chapo had better treatment and more due process than our clients did.
The lawsuit is challenging the incommunicado detention, the conditions, and the inhumane treatment meted out to the men while in U.S. Coast Guard custody. Herman Green, TVJ News.